Hello everyone, this is the OG Gigi here, and we have the last part on identity of my podcast called The Alternative. So in part 2, we discussed how people purposely attack our certain demographics so that it forces us to identify by those demographics. They attacked Black communities when it came to voting rights specifically, so that it would be made into a Black cause instead of an American cause for voting rights. So I've said in each of these parts to never identify by your demographics, whether it's your race, skin color, or ethnicity, your sex and gender identity, your sexual orientation, your age. But you can tell me, Gigi, I can't hide these things. Even if I don't identify as Black openly, they're still going to see my skin color when they see me, when I'm out and about. I can't hide this. And their judgments and stereotypes and prejudices are going to come at me regardless, because I can't hide this. So even if I don't identify as that, I have to, because I can't hide it. What can I do? Well, thankfully, there is a very powerful alternative to that, which we will discuss in this final part on identity, how to identify yourself in the face of bigotry. So I'll give you some examples of what has happened to me and also some of my friends. So I walk into a store as a Black woman, and for some reason the clerk refuses to serve me and answer my questions. This happened at a Bose store maybe around 10 years ago, and he literally refused me service. Now, I could easily say that it was because he was racist, right? I mean, why would you deny a customer if that wasn't the reason? And if I had done that, then he would just simply deny it. Well, I'm not racist. And I'm like, you're being racist right now. That's what racism is. Well, I'm not racist, so I'm not guilty. And so this leads to an argument that doesn't go anywhere. And we just waste each other's time. And the bigot still stays a bigot. Or one of my friends who was denied a promotion. She is very qualified, has all the experience, and has helped out her corporation significantly more than the guy who got the promotion. But she could walk up and say, "You're sexist. You denied me promotion because you hate women, and you're not paying me as much as the guys in the corporation for the same job because I'm a woman." Now, that's true, but they would just give them the freedom to deny it. Oh, I'm not sexist. According to my definition, I'm not sexist. It just turned out that way. Or our hands are tied. That was all we can do. And his father's a friend of the corporation, and that goes nowhere. Or age. Denied a vote or an opinion about, or a decision about something because I am young. It's like, oh, well, you're young. You don't really get it yet. You don't know anything. And so we'll take her word for it or his word for it because they're older, more experienced, you know. It's like, hey, you know, that's ageist. You think that just because I'm younger that I don't know anything or not experienced? What? That's ageist. You can't do that. And once again, they'll deny it and say they're not ageist according to their definition. And it just leads to an argument saying they're not ageist, and then me responding, yes, you are. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. And it goes nowhere. So, why is this the case? That's because any type of bigot needs to divide people in order for the world to make sense to them. So, if they can look at you and say, oh, okay, black person, I can, divide them. I have all my stereotypes and baggage regarding that skin pigment. Yep, I don't need to serve them or even recognize that they're a human being. I can easily discard them. Or as a woman, oh, well, women can never be more experienced or skilled than a man is. And so I can easily discard them, not give them a promotion, not pay them equal pay. It's just easy, to divide and discard based on a person's sex. That makes sense to them. So even when you call them out for being racist and sexist, it benefits the bigot. Because again, like in part 2, they want you to make your entire identity your race and your sex, because that's what makes sense to them. They can stereotype you, they can go full bigot on you, they can justify mistreating you. And we've gotten to the point, a lot of it, where it's happened so much that people now expect to be mistreated. They expect to be the victim of racism and sexism. And yes, it does happen a lot, but we can't identify ourselves by our race and our sex, even when that happens, even when that's the reason, because it only helps the bigot. They can deny that they're racist or sexist. They can still kick you out of the store, deny you that promotion, because you took the bait and identified yourself as your race and your sex in that moment. So, what do we do about this? Well, thankfully, there is a very powerful alternative, and that is to specifically identify yourself as something else in that moment that has nothing to do with your demographics. So, for example, when I went into the Bose store and the guy refused to help me, I could have said, it's because he is racist or because he is sexist, which is most likely the reason. But I said, I didn't take the bait. I didn't play that card. I just said, I have a Bose at home. It's not working. Here is the model number. Please help me. Please give me service. And he pretended again that I didn't know what I was talking about. So I just said the same thing a bit louder so other people around could hear what I was talking about. Oh no, my Bose stereo is not working. It is this model number and I need service right now. So this got other members, the manager and stuff, to come over. People outside of the store were wondering what was going on. Why isn't this lady being serviced? And then all of a sudden, he's like, oh, yes, yes, yes. Oh, yes, how can I help you? Yes, what do you need? Just like that. And because I didn't take the bait for race or sex, he couldn't deny he was racist. I didn't even give him the opportunity to do that, because I knew that would only benefit him and it would go nowhere. So I say, nope, I am a Bose stereo owner, and I use it for my TV and my music, and I need help. It's like, oh, what? Everybody denied service? What? A Bose stereo owner in a Bose store? What? Or the case with my friend who was denied a promotion that she should have gotten, and a higher pay check, which she also should have gotten. Instead of saying, you're a sexist and, you're guilty of nepotism, can say, well, are you against hard workers? Are you against people with a record of excellence and customer satisfaction for 2 years, or what have you? Are you against people with my skill set? Is that why you denied me the promotion? And this, they can't deny that it's sexist. You're not giving the opportunity to deny it. It puts them on the defensive and say, yeah, why wouldn't you give somebody with that skill set that promotion? Why wouldn't you give somebody with those experiences that promotion? Why wouldn't you give them a pay raise? Hey, yeah, that doesn't make sense, because you didn't take the bait of identifying by our sex in that moment, but identifying by your skill set and your experiences in that moment, your qualifications in that moment. And same with the ageism situation. You can identify by your skill set, your experiences, your creativity, your college education, what have you, in that moment, instead of your age, because it's easy for the bigot to just deny their prejudice and then have the conversation go nowhere. You need to create the situation to make it so that it doesn't benefit the bigot, that it actually puts the bigot in an extremely uncomfortable situation. Why didn't you serve me? Why didn't you promote my friend? Why didn't you use my voice or opinion for the final decision? Because they can't readily explain that, can they? And that is the big difference. And you don't even have to identify yourself by these grounds. You can identify yourself in a different way. Same situation, going into a store as a black person. I see people not serving me or turning the lights on in the back because they're afraid I'm going to steal something or whatever. I purposely don't identify as black in that moment. I purposely don't assume that it's racist, even though I know it is. I just say, whoa, what's the problem? Do you have something against Yankee fans? Is that it? Or you hate people who love pop music? You hate people who are fans of, whoever celebrity you want? You hate people who are fans of blah, blah, blah? and make it something else, anything else, especially an identity that the bigot can connect with. And those types of identities are things you are a fan of, could be music, could be food, could be a certain celebrity or a hobby. Bigots identify themselves mainly by those things anyway. So why shouldn't you? It's like, oh yeah, I'm a Yankee fan. I love the Yankees. Oh yeah, I love pizza. Oh yeah, Pepsi's my favorite. Oh yeah, I have it all the time. It's so good. Oh yes. Oh, I'm a EXO fan. I'm a BoA fan. I'm a BTS fan. Oh yeah, of course. You? Yeah. Yeah, I am. Oh, so am I. What? And then all of a sudden, they're so happy to see you, happy to serve you. They become your new best friend. And it was like that whole racist situation never happened or should not have ever happened. Because you, in that moment, because you identified by something that is easier to connect with in that moment, it made it so that you weren't black anymore, you weren't a woman anymore, you weren't young or old anymore. You actually became a person, even to the bigot. It humanized you in that moment, so they could actually connect with you on that deeper level. And this reminds me of the very popular or well-known case about the black man who actually convinced hundreds of Ku Klux Klan members to befriend him and leave the Ku Klux Klan permanently. Yes, this is a very true story. I think his name was Daryl Davis. Really, look it up. Type in black man befriends Ku Klux Klan members or black man convinces Ku Klux Klan to leave or give in their robes or something into a Google search or whatever. And what he did, he used this same alternative. It's like, how can you hate me when you don't even know me? Get to know me first. Then you can decide whether you hate me or like me. And the main way he did it was through music. Turns out that a lot of the members of the Ku Klux Klan in Chicago, they actually liked blues music, which he played. He was a blues musician. And through both of their shared love of blues music, it actually got them to say, wait a minute, why do I hate black people? I don't have a reason to. Why do I need to hate black people? I have no reason to. I never thought of it that way before. And through blues music, he managed to convince at least 200 Ku Klux Klan members in Chicago to leave the Ku Klux Klan permanently. And this is the same alternative. Bigots are not always far gone. It's because all the hate that they're experiencing, they've experienced that firsthand from their parents, from their communities, from their families. All they've ever known is hate. And they're raised in these communities where they feel they can't take their hate out on the ones who were literally torturing them, their parents, their communities, their families. So they have to unleash that hate somewhere else, somewhere where they feel that it's safe to unleash that hate, which is usually people who they see as an other. But when you show them that, hey, we like the same stuff. We're fans of the same stuff. I identify as a gamer. I love video games. Yeah, I've played that too. Really? You're a gamer? Yeah. Of course I am. I love video games. Played it my whole life. Wow. It finally exposes them to what love and friendship actually is. And that, as the saying goes, a bully turned friend becomes a friend to the very end. If you can actually get somebody who's bullying you or is mean to you to become your friend, they will actually become some of your best friends throughout your entire life, because that's how much you change their life by being the first person to ever show them true love and friendship. And they'll never forget that, and they will always love you and protect you for that. Same with Daryl Davis, who got the Ku Klux Klan members to leave the Ku Klux Klan permanently. It's the same method. So that is what you have to do. You have to identify yourself as something else. Even when you can't hide your skin color, your sex, or whatever, you still have to identify as something else, something that people can connect with. And that will make all the difference in the world. Don't say it's racist. Don't assume it's racist or sexist, because again, it benefits the bigot. They can easily deny it, and then it goes nowhere. They stay bigots. When a bigot is shown love for the very first time, it has a powerful effect and change on them. And that is even more powerful than saying, oh, well, those people are toxic. I'm not gonna, be friends with them, or I'm not gonna even try. It's like, no, they might actually end up being the best friends you might ever have in your entire life, because of how powerful the change of being shown love and friendship actually is. So this brings us to the next dilemma. How do I know what I like? Maybe I don't know what I like yet, or haven't really explored that. How can I identify myself by what I like or love if I don't even know that yet? Well, thankfully, there is an alternative to that too. Especially when it comes to forced identities, which are any type of religion, God belief, or belief system. You did not choose these things. It was forced upon you by your parents, by society at large, by your communities. So it is actually best not to ever identify yourself by any religion, God belief, or belief system ever. So you need to see yourself as more than that, as a person with different hobbies, interests, and likes that have nothing to do with belief systems or other stereotypes that might have been forced upon you. So a great way to separate yourself from that forced identity is to really admit, I don't know yet. You have been told that you should think this way, that you should like these things because of your religion, your sex, your age, your sexual orientation, whatever. But you can say, well, I'm just doing that to fit in. I actually don't know what I really like. And once you realize that you don't know who you are yet, that opens an entire gateway of you discovering exactly who you are. You give yourself the freedom to explore now. Well, my family, we've always eaten these foods, or we've always believed this way. Well, I want to try some different foods. I want to be exposed to different belief systems. I want to listen to some different music, or try these different hobbies and stuff. Maybe I'm good at it, maybe not. I don't know yet, but I should at least try and see. So when you give yourself that freedom to explore who you are, then and feel comfortable with that, then you can confidently identify yourself by what you love, what you're a fan of, what hobbies or skills you have developed, what things you're passionate about, things that bring you to tears, that move you, that inspire you. Those are the ways that we all should identify ourselves. To identify ourselves not by our demographics like race, sex, sexual orientation, but by our characteristics instead. What makes us who we are, what defines us as a human being, by what we love, by what we're passionate about, and what we enjoy in life. And that is the best way we can each identify ourselves, whether it's in the face of bigotry, whether it's for a cause, or throughout our life. We will not let a forced identity take over who we are, because we're more than that. It's okay to try to learn who you are freely. Explore, try new things. Learn new languages, learn new hobbies, skills, and see where that takes you. It makes our life deeper. We actually get friends we never expected to be friends. And it makes us happier and more comfortable with living the life we want to live and being who we are. And that is the alternative identity, the final part 3. Thank you so much for joining me. And the next alternative will be on the alternative to loneliness, which actually relates quite a bit to the alternative regarding identity. And you shall see that very soon. Thank you so much for listening, and have a fabulous day, and I hope the quality of your life improves with each day. This has been the OG Gigi, and take care.